Hello, this is Sam from the channel Fun Decks Only, a new one that I've made just so I can go over my Commander and Brawl decks. They are definitely very fun. I definitely recommend playing them. Maybe not for everyone else. Okay, so let's just dive into it very quickly. This is Jhoira, Weatherlight Captain. She is 4 CMC, 3/3. And whenever you cast a historic spell, you draw a card. Historic spells are artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. So this deck mostly focuses on the artifact side of that, with a few legendaries chucked in. Okay, so the main win cons for the deck are Ether Flux Reservoir, casting a lot of spells, Alter the Brood, casting a lot of spells and milling everyone out, or Isoconceptor Dramatic Reversal, which gives you infinite mana. So does another combo, Basalt and Rings of Bright Hearth, but they're also more utility than the rest, so I haven't put them in the win cons. And then with the infinite mana, you create a Walking Ballista, or you just cast, go through your entire deck until you find the rest of the win cons. So, simply put, this deck really focuses on getting as many cheap artifact casts as possible. So as you can see, we've got at least 9 that can be cast for 0. Obviously you don't always want to cast your Astral or your Everflowing Chalice for 0. You generally want them to have a counter on so you can add mana, but if you're in a pinch, then you can use it, or if you're going to bounce them very quickly anyway, then you might as well cast them for 0 and draw a card off it. So you've got the Basalt Monolith, Rings of Bright Hearth, infinite mana combo. That's yeah, pretty good. I'll say I like it. One problem that you have with the deck is that you do tend to mill yourself. You draw too many and you're just there like, ugh. I can't actually win with the amount of cards I've got left in my library. So you run Elixir of Immortality, well I run Elixir of Immortality, Perpetual Timepiece, and Midnight Clock, which is somewhere around here. Somewhere it's hiding. So that is in the deck, and they shuffle your graveyard into your library, so you can start all the fun over again. So we've got a lot of 0 costs. We've also got a lot of 1 costs, such as Elixir, Ivory Tower. Now, a lot of the 1 costs are like the uses are a bit marginal, other than Soul Ring, but when you're reducing the cost of them with where's the thing gone? Cost reducers here. When you're reducing the cost of the 1 drops and the 2 drops and the 3 drops, then you end up casting so many spells for free and drawing even more that the marginal like niche uses aren't an issue, because you just cast them to draw a card anyway. So we've got quite a few mana rocks. Obviously you can replace some of these with your big hitters like Mox Opal, Chrome Mox, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault even. I haven't yet because A, I don't have the money for the expensive ones, and B, my Mana Vaults are in my other decks. So that's that. Storm the Vault, that's it's another little one that it's a pet card of mine for this deck. It's legendary, so it draws you a card when you cast it, due to Jhoira, and it becomes Tolarian Academy, or Vault Cataclan, as it says. It's huge. You want to do it. This counter spell is just there because I want to wind one of my friends up, because I told him there was no counter spells in the deck. Whoops. Vidalcan Orrery, if you ever watch the Command Zone, you know exactly how good Vidalcan Orrery is. Unwinding Clock is another very good card, which doesn't get mentioned too much. Now this deck doesn't have the Trading Post synergy, which I have in one of my other decks. I will show you when I go over it in the future. But it still has quite a decent amount of synergy with just cards that don't untap, like Basalt Monolith, or Walking Ballista, so you can continuously put counters on it very slowly, but you can do it. And if you've got Vidalcanori out, then you can be going off in other people's turns. Now, what you find with this deck is people don't like Jhoira being on the battlefield, so what I have done is put in Vidalcan Archmage and Riddlesmith. Riddlesmith obviously isn't as good, costs half the amount, and only loots instead of drawing, but when you just want to sift through your deck, that's still pretty good. It is card disadvantage though, so be careful how much you try and storm off with it. Vidalcan Archmage acts just like Jhoira pretty much, so, you know, do that as you will. Clock of Omens provides a lot of extra value for your mana rocks, especially Gilded Lotus. Especially if you've got Unwinding Clock. Amazing. Artifice Assistant works really well in conjunction with the Archmage or Jhoira. You get to choose what you draw. Emery works really well with Jhoira because you'll generally have enough artifacts that only cost a blue, and she allows you to cast artifacts from your graveyard, which allows you to draw a card with Jhoira, and potentially draw a card with the cards that you just cast from the graveyard. That's a lot. I've said card a lot there. So we've got quite a few cards that just draw cards incidentally. Bob Sexton is a little niche favourite of mine there. Command Sphere, generally good. Golden Egg draws a card when it enters, and obviously if you're casting that over and over with Emery, then you're drawing a lot of extra cards with Jhoira and that. Relic of Progenitus is a pretty good card. I believe exiling all graveyards is generally pretty good. And so one of the main parts of the deck that is really fun is being able to bounce all of your stuff and then replay it all again. Obviously sequencing matters. You want to be able to cast all your mana rocks first and then use those mana rocks in order to cast the rest of what's in your hand and the 0 costs. Rebuild, really good, especially hilarious if people have a lot of treasures. They get really salty when all their treasures just disappear. Paradoxical Outcome, amazing card. Normally is your finisher because you've drawn so many cards. You can generally draw about 20 off this. It's not, I mean, 10 or 20, between 10 and 20 is generally how much I get off it. Hercule's Recall, also hilarious if someone's got a lot of treasures, but you know, generally you're casting it on yourself. Flood of Tears, generally using it to keep yourself safe. You will almost always put Jhoira back onto the battlefield after you cast it, but you might put the Archmage on instead. Yeah, it's generally very, very strong. I've always been pleasantly surprised by Flood of Tears. You'll notice there's no Cyclonic Rift. I don't care about other people's board states. This deck just sits there and plays Solitaire for a long time. You'll enjoy it if you don't like interacting with people too much. Affection Metamorph can clone your Gilded Lotus, or other people's mana rocks, or other people's big creatures. Merchant Stockhand, that works well with Unwinding Clock, but it's not an amazing card, but it's a blocker for 1. That also allows you to find cards. Yeah, it's good. If you've got Unwinding Clock, it's even gooder. Quiz the Puppet, just a little value blocker generally. There was another thing. Lab Maniac, in case you do just want to mill yourself out, that should be in Wincons. What are you doing over there? Okay, one more thing before I finish up. Mirage Mirror, very underrated card. It looks like nothing, but if someone plays an Ulamog, then you can cop, and for 2 mana you've got your own Ulamog. Also, something that people don't notice is that it says enchantment on it, so you can use it to copy someone else's Omniscience. That's quite fun. So yeah, that's the deck. Let me know if you like it, give me some feedback. I apologise for any sound quality issues or video quality issues. I am fairly new to it. Oh, go away, big defender. And I don't have all of the equipment I need yet, but I will be getting some in the future. Thank you for listening and watching, and see you later.